The continuously blessing Shruti Mata, let us gratefully extend gratitudes to her consciously, beg her, request her to continue. So to the Guru Tattva, the Guru Parampara, our Swagurus and Acharyas, may the Divine empower them to continuously guide us till we reach the goal. Let us recognize the tireless, relentless, continuous empowering done to us for our survival, sadhana, etc. by the divine expressions, divine forces, whom we call as the Adhisthana Devatas in us, Adhyatma, outside Adi Bhautika, beyond in the Adi Daivika kingdoms. Let us remember each of the Devatas with fervor, devotion, gratefulness, and a promise to them that their empowering us will be used by us for the correct purpose only. Now let us try to tune to that divine Paramatma who is playing this whole play of the universe with his Ananta Maya Shakti. May he use us for his work, but may he remove the curtain of Maya delusion, because of which we are feeling an isolated individuality, struggling with limited upadhis, trying to survive in this world, own this world, indulge in the world, and keeping away from the divine and his scheme of things. May he give us that vision clarity. So too, the pure, conscious, all pervading Brahman. Actually, we have to identify with him. May he bless us to do that sadhana more than anything else. Salutations, welcome to you all, wonderful Jignasus, Sadhakas, Mumukshus, Shrotas, Shishyas and Bhaktas, Dharma Samsthavakas and the Sevakas. Just 2 minutes thought. If we see around the world without informing us, taking permission for us, even with or without our knowledge, how many things continuously happening. When the time is moving so fast, even the yugas, the paradigms themselves are so swiftly changing. And n number of things are continuously happening. Years coming and rolling away, seasons coming and going away, months and days and moments coming, going. In that, how many things are happening? The births, the growths, the changes, the improvements, the decays, the disappearances of the individuals, of the groups, of the organizations, of the ideas or the concepts, whatever, so much it is. Every day, millions of trees are giving millions of fruits, flowers, vegetables, fruit, and all, and they are falling down. Every day, how much of the waters merging in ocean, oceanic water becoming clouds and all. So many things, so many. In those happenings, the quarrels between individuals or the states or the nations, on some issues for some time, and again new people coming, again becoming friendly. These are all very micro, minute things in the totality that are happening. Big, big things at the total level is happening. So, we can become aware of all this as much as possible. Having become aware, only one question is, are we stopping or causing the obstruction for the progress of the world? Progress is the word underlined. Or are we neutral when the world is growing? Or are we consciously, to the extent possible, contributing from our side? Three choices are there. First is not correct to execute. Second is better than the first one. Third is the best, but still no obligation, no compulsion. That we are able to cooperate with the world. न्यूट्रल है तो भी चलेगा, हार्म नहीं करो तो वो बेस्ट, वो ठीक है, कम से कम कहते मिनिमम. But then if we can really contribute, it will be wonderful. Now so many thousands of fields, the growth of the world is happening and required to happen. Which field we have to contribute? That is a good question we can ask. Which field? Then immediately again question, it depends on our understanding regarding many subtle things. One of them is, should we contribute in the world's growth of real substantial permanent thing or the temporary things? Should we contribute to the world's growth in that field which superficially appears to be the growth, but in its long run it's destructive only? From all these analysis, the answer will be the only contribution, the best one is in doing dharma, in doing spirituality, in giving spirituality to the world. Because that is permanent, that's infinite, that's stable, that is not changing. More important in all, that is one without second. So, spiritually contributing to the world is the best contribution. Think about it. But before or to contribute to the world spiritually, first of all, we should have something substantial with us. Therefore, in the scheme of things that are happening in the world, while becoming aware of those happenings, while becoming first non obstructive, for some time maintaining neutrality, and while contributing for the growth of the world in any of the field, you and I, especially particularly, should mind about our own growth, for that our own contribution to ourselves. In the sense, when so many things are happening in the world, what am I doing with myself? What should I do with myself? The direct answer is, I myself should grow in the goal I have chosen. Like the whole world in its micro and macro level is putting its efforts in the goal toward the goal chosen. Every individual is trying to reach to his own chosen given goal. Total world also moving. So what about me? I also must move further ahead in the goal which I am convinced about. And you and I, particularly, when we are convinced about our spiritual goal, then how much we are learning from the world, inspired from the world, are working for our own spiritual unfoldment. A very important question, isn't it? Spirituality is not an idea or a concept or an understanding only. In fact, it is a bigger struggle than anything in the universe, where every moment we have to struggle, work hard for that spiritual unfoldment. Not even one moment can be wasted without doing. Every moment it should be used for doing the right thing, and every moment we have to guard ourselves from which is obstruction or contrary to the spiritual goal. It's a big struggle. We only coming to class listening is a basic, very zero level minimum it is. And the biggest danger in it is what? As any other thing becomes mechanical, this also becomes mechanical. In that, as a routine, we come and sit, I speak, you listen. Beyond that, if right from the beginning, the habit of becoming aware and alert of what is spoken or heard, then going home and doing the homework, if these habits are not developed right from the beginning, slowly, simultaneously, as much coming to the class becomes a habit, so much not doing the homework also becomes a habit. Thereafter, we'll be so narrow in our spirituality at one segment only that we just come to class as a formality. Other than that, with the class, with the knowledge gained in the class and my life, we behave as if there's no relation at all. This happens with every spiritual sadhana. That I do japa so externally, mechanically, for some years, that the Maya and the mind's technique works in such a way that the japa is happening, but there is nothing related to that japa and my life. In a sense, my life's transformation in its aspects from worldliness to spirituality में कोई ऐसा संबंध ही नहीं है, इसलिए जब भी चल रहा है और भोग भी चल रहा है, पूजा भी चल रहा है एंड लड़ाई भी भी चल रहा है, स्पिरिचुअलिटी चल रहा है और ईगो बोस्टिंग भी चल रहा है. Do you understand? That is the biggest danger. And there, the most terrible thing is what? Because we are doing these spiritual things, some power comes. Because of this doing and power, some arrogance comes. When the ego comes, then not only we justify what we do, we don't listen to anyone who is advising. Very dangerous side effect of regular spiritual listening if you are not careful. Does it mean stop listening? No. If that listening is dropped, then totally we get lost in the world. है ना? स्ट्रॉन्गेस्ट सपोर्ट है ये सत्संग सुनना, इसको वीकेस्ट सपोर्ट नहीं बनाना, दैट ये भी छूट जाए. हाउ? बाय ओनली लिसनिंग mechanically and not at all relating it with our life. This is not at all correct. Like when I understand anything, let us say example, yama, ahimsa. What do you mean by ahimsa? Is ahimsa an understanding? Or is it a practice? Or is it an experience? You know, if only at the understanding level we stop and don't practice. And if with practice, if we don't convert into experience, there's no difference between the word ahimsa printed in the book, printed in our mind, because it has not brought any transformation. We are continuing to be the himsa vyakti only. Who told that Shastras tell us only to know the thing? Shastras tell us to transform ourselves completely, not just knowing. And unless the knowing is converted into doing and doing is aimed at transformation, it won't happen. Then we remain the same. Our own goals and the assurances promised by the Shastras that तुम ये बनोगे वो बनोगे मुक्त बनोगे अमृत बनोगे, they only remain as dreams only. And this tamasha can continue for thousands of lives, just like for last 4 years in our life the tamasha going on Our whole day we come, listen to class, speak in the class. And what's the change happened? Who told that change will happen by itself? It will happen up to the human evolution level. From the human onwards, change doesn't happen by itself accidentally. Accidentally, change has to be consciously brought by the human being. That is why he is given buddhi, he is given the ego, he is given all the resources, the instruments, more than all that, the opportunities and the freedoms. What it means is that we are given so many freedoms, opportunities, and facilities. Is it to get lost in the world, which we only are consciously doing, or it is for us to consciously put effort and evolve? From like Guru is there, God is there, they have given everything. After that, they dekho tamasha, that's it. Whether we use them and grow or not, don't use them, it doesn't matter to them at all. Like Gurudev gave us knowledge, gave us path. Now, whether you walk or not, he'll not bother. It is me in my interest. I have to learn from him, and thereafter, for my own growth, going to my own secluded place, I have to put my relentless efforts for my own evolution. Be attentive. This is a very sensitive thought, important one. And if we are using it, their help or blessing, they get inspired to help us more. If we are not taking responsibility and consciously using and growing, they will feel disappointed, insulted. Then they start supplying those blessings. Such are the ones who slowly make spirituality mechanical, and slowly, nothing of it touches the heart. Then they start leaving the things. Then the Lord also leaves them. Guru also leaves them. Then they are like any other human beings living with the Upadi Tadatma with for Artha Kama in the world. Zero spirituality. So, the whole world, when it is moving in its own speed in the destined direction, to the positive, we contribute consciously to the extent possible. Along with that, we have to mind what goal we have chosen. We have not chosen the economical goal, we have not chosen the indulgence goal. We have chosen. Have we chosen or not a question? Then answer optimistically, taking it for granted, we are saying that spirituality is taken as the goal. Let us say ये भी टेंटेटिव है, हर एक को अपना अपना सोचना है. Then how much we are justifying that choice by our own conscious efforts, by using whatever the best things that are given to us by the divine. And you and I are more specially blessed that the Upanishads, the Yoga Darshanas, the Yoga Vasishtas, the great Prakaranas, the Vedanta, the Bhakti Shastra, how much we are given, bombarded. Given, what are we receiving? Once this thought comes that I am responsible for my own growth spiritually by using all that given, then the real struggle starts. लाइक जब मुझे लगता है कि मैं रिस्पॉन्सिबल हूँ, मेरा ओन घर बनाना है, then the real struggle starts. Then you start thinking, then we will know at what level of lowest level of thinking we are. Which place to select for the house, how much land to purchase, where from the money to generate, which sort of house to make, who are the builders, contractors to trust and give chance, how to apply to the bank the loan, every day how to monitor the growth of that construction and looking at everything. जो करना चाहता है तब पता चलता है इसमें डिफिकल्टीज क्या होते हैं. Same way, only when I realize that I have to grow spiritually by my sadhana, taking the help of whatever help coming from, then we know at what level of the body's mismanagement we are, that it is a liability, not helping us in sadhana but obstructing every moment. And how we have become slaves to our sense organs, that they are forcefully taking us away from our goals and convictions. Then we will know how our prana shaktis are misused, how our mind is totally out of our control, impure, corrupt, lethargic, disturbed. तब पता चलता है क्या क्या कचरा गंदगी हमने कितने जन्मों से और इस जन्म में भी कलेक्ट किया, जो स्पिरिचुअलिटी का खिलाफ है या वोंट हेल्प द स्पिरिचुअल्स. देन बैठकर वन थिंग. Now you see last 70 years of freedom, 65, उससे पहले का 1000 years. How much the Hinduism got disturbed, degraded from within and without. Now holding on to one by one thing and again reinstating them. How much struggle it is happening. Just think about it. It's only a beginning that the mandiras established. But through them, the dharma has to be established. Through the dharma, the moksha has to be established. Through these two, the universal oneness outlook has to be established. Because of that universal oneness established, each one may live his own life of unfoldment inside, but outside, all are supposed to be cooperative and coordinated to each other. In these things, these are all Hinduism, this is Sanatana. In सबको बढ़ावा देना. Like each planet is moving in its own orbit for its own functioning, and yet in resonance and coordination with all the other planets and the sun. Same way, each nation, each continent, each state, each family, each individual have to move in their own respective personal orbit for their own evolution. At the same time, full love and cooperation only with others. Not like today, where in trying to destroy others, we are forgetting so much stupidly that we are destroying ourselves. ऐसे दिन आजकल हम जी रहे कि नहीं, दूसरों को तबाह करने के चक्कर में खुद ही तबाह हो रहे. From that, by helping others to grow, we should find the secret of our growth also happening in our life. In that only our growth also is happening. To that level, step by step, the Sanatana Dharma's glory has to be brought one by one, one by one, one by one. How many million are there? एक टेम्पल बनाए तो एक वेरी LKG लेवल का है, very gross. People also 1 year, 2 years they throng. उसके बाद like other temples, these also will have that type of have a thing only. Maybe कोई 5-10 साल, because other temples का accessibility है था, isn't it? Kashi, even though half of it is taken, but Shiji is available to us. Krishna Bhagwan, 90% is taken, but 10% is available. Rama was never available, no, 500 years. Therefore, so much power and force in us to have darshan. Maybe for 10-20 years. बाद में normal हो जाएगा ना. But is this our goal only to make temples and pujas? It's only beginning, it's a means. There are the goals to be achieved personally, collectively. Luckily, both are same goals. The personal goal is for unfoldment. Collective goal also is unfoldment. The difference is what? Personal level, depending on the place where one stays, his direction and his speed will be different from each other. Personal में total goal एक ही होता है. When we achieve our personal goals, it adds to the total personal spiritual goal. So as it is done, Sanatana Dharma का शुरुआती हुआ. In the same way, when we start doing sadhana, then we know which are the places where we are So immature, zero level of understanding, no conviction, no clarity at all, even after listening so many Shastras. Forget about those who never heard. आप जाकर रियल मेहनत से फिर एक एक चीज समझना, एक एक को करना. So the idea is what? Look at the world around without a permission, it's going in its own way. If possible, contribute positively, if not be neutral. Don't be destructive, but taking inspiration from those things that are happening in the world, we also have to reach to our own goals chosen by our own travel. And our goal is spirituality, undoubtedly. Then once taken it into hands, how much whatever is given by the God and Guru, I am understanding, I am using, उससे focus करते हुए, what exactly I have to reach, what is the path, उसको समझते हुए, day by day, moment by moment, we have to keep on putting those feet, चलते चलते रहना. And in that, the best of all, important of all is, every moment I am aware of my thoughts, the words, the deeds, and I know that they are only for spiritual unfoldment. And those things only which unfold the self in me, that I am doing kaya, vacha, mansa, nothing else. This is the highest achievement. Every moment we are alert. May that state come to us very soon. And while doing so, the understanding comes, and the understanding we have to gain is what? All the things and beings and the worldly relativities we have with them was nothing but the delusion and nothing but destructive, not required anything. In comparison with our own spiritual unfoldment, everything else is nothing but obstruction, nor even any of utility or any sukha or any freedom. Sab bakwas. This understanding is true vairagya, isn't it? Like any true patriot, for the sake of country's growth. I know every other small little issues of fighting with others, making the things as issues is meaningless. See, in his maturity, you can see our Prime Minister slowly learning this. There is nothing to waste time and energy in arguing, talking, fighting with the people who are understood to be against the growth of nation and selfish. Then you are given power position. As long as it is there, use it to evolve, use it to do the seva to nation. In the same way, in our life also, all other quarrels, fightings, egos, prestiges are not only useless and meaningless, they are obstructions only in our sadhana. About them, only one thing to be done: pack them and throw them in a fire. Just burn it. Aim only in doing those sadhanas which help our growth. ऐसी स्थिति हमको जल्दी मिले. ओम 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 सहनावतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः. ओम शांति शांति शांति. ओम नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्म विद्या संप्रदाय कर्तृभ्यो वंश ऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः. ओम निधये सर्वविद्यानां विषजे भवरोगिणां गुरवे सर्वलोकानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः. ओम यैरिमे गुरुभिः पूर्वं पदवाक्यप्रमाणतः व्याख्याताः सर्ववेदान्ताः तान् नित्यं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहं. शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः. श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्. ॐ भव एव भवानिति मे नितरां समजायत चेतसि कौतुकिता मम वारय मोहमहाजलधिं भव शङ्करदेशिकमे शरणं. गुरुमन्त्र ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तन्नमामि. सर्वनमस्कार and संकल्प. परब्रह्मणे नमः. श्रुतिमात्रे नमः. समस्त ब्रह्म विद्या आचार्येभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो देवताभ्यो नमः. इतरेय उपनिषदः आचार्येभ्यो नमः. अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः. संकल्पः तेषां सर्वेषां कृपानुग्रहेण उपनिषदुक्तब्रह्मात्मैक्यबोधस्य अस्मिन् क्षणे एव सिद्ध्यर्थं सनातनधर्मस्य वैदिकहैन्दवसंस्कृतेः साम्प्रदायानां शास्त्राणां भक्तियोगवेदान्तादि मोक्षसाधना प्रक्रियाणां पुनरुत्थान पुनर्जागरण समस्त विश्वव्याप्तिद्वारा विश्व आध्यात्मिक प्रगति द्वारा विश्व एकता शांति कल्याण सौभ्रातृत्व सोमनस्य पुरोभिवृद्ध्यर्थं अस्मिन् धर्म संस्थापने निष्ठित अस्माकं सह सर्वेषां गुरूणाम् आचार्याणाम् आश्रमाणां संस्थानां श्रेयोभिलाषिणां भक्तानां शिष्याणां सेवकानां पूर्णायुरारोग्य ऐश्वर्यक्षेम स्थैर्य वीर्यादि समस्त शक्ति संपदा सानुकूल्यता साधनानां प्राप्ति द्वारा बाह्याभ्यंतर शत्रु विघ्न निर्मूलन द्वारा संपूर्ण प्रेरणोत्साह द्वारा धर्म संस्थापन कार्ये नित्य निरंतर दिग्विजयार्थम अनेक शास्त्राणाम् अध्ययन साधना प्रयत्न मध्ये श्री ऋग्वेदांतर्गत ऐतरेय उपनिषदः पारायणम् आद्य शंकर भाष्य समेत अध्ययनं साधना प्रयत्नं वयं सर्वे करिष्यामहे। ओम मनस्तावतमशान्त्यै यस्य पादनखच्छटा शरदिन्दुनिभाभाति तं वन्दे नीलचिन्मणिम्। ओम अथ श्री ऋग्वेदांतर्गत इतरेयोपनिषत् शांति मंत्रः। ओम वांग मे मनसि प्रतिष्ठिता मनो मे वाचि प्रतिष्ठितम् आविराविर्म एधि वेदस्य म आणीस्तः श्रुतं मे मा प्रहासीः अनेनाधीतेनाहोरात्रान् सन्दधामि ऋतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतु तद्वक्तारमवत्वतु मामवतु वक्तारमवतु वक्तारम्। ओम शांति शांति शांति। पारायणम् अथ तृतीयोऽध्यायः। ओम कोऽयमात्मेति वयमुपास्महे कतरः स आत्मा येन वा पश्यति येन वा शृणोति येन वा गन्धानाजिघ्रति येन वा वाचं व्याकरोति येन वा स्वादु च विजानाति यदेतद् हृदयं मनः च एतत् संज्ञानमाज्ञानं विज्ञानं प्रज्ञानं मेधा दृष्टिः धृतिर्मतिः मनीषा ज्योतिः स्मृतिः संकल्पः क्रतुः असुः कामः वशः इति सर्वाणि एव एतानि प्रज्ञानस्य नामधेयानि भवन्ति। एष ब्रह्मा एष इन्द्रः एष प्रजापतिः एते सर्वे देवाः इमानि च पञ्चमहाभूतानि पृथिवी वायुराकाश आपो ज्योतिंषि इति एतानि इमानि च क्षुद्रमिश्राणि इव बीजानि इतराणि च अण्डजानि च जारुजानि च स्वेदजानि च उद्भिजानि च अश्वाः गावः वरुषाः हस्तिनः यत्किञ्च इदं प्राणी जङ्गमं पतत्रि च यच्च स्थावरं सर्वं तत्प्रज्ञानेत्रं प्रज्ञाने प्रतिष्ठितं प्रज्ञानेत्रो लोकः प्रज्ञा प्रतिष्ठिता प्रज्ञानं ब्रह्म सहितेन प्रज्ञेनात्मनास्माद् लोकात् उत्क्रम्य अमुष्मिन् स्वर्गे लोके सर्वान् कामान् आप्त्वा अमृतः समभवदित्यों शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः. Friends, just now we have chanted the third mantra, and of it only we are in the Bhashya Adhyayanam. Here from the Tvam-pada Shodhana, in which the pure self, which is expressing as Antakarana, expressing as the Indriyas. At the Antakarana level, expressing as and realizing the Vrittis. Indriya level, perceiving and knowing the Shabda Sparsha. What is that self in whose presence these are happening, or what is that pure self which is appearing as these things? That is our Atman, to which we have to identify. So, identify with the waters, not the waves or bubbles or ripples, even though they are also nothing but water. Why? Because in them there is Janma, Jara, Roga, Mrityu. These modifications are there. When we identify with them, those modifications appear to be of ours, then that causes pain or dukkha. And we don't want pain or dukkha, isn't it? Why we are suffering in the world? Because of the birth, growth, disease, decay, and dying. And where are these are all happening? In everything of the world. And what are those everything in which these are happening? Only in the Rupa Nama. Can we detach from our identity with the Rupa Nama and identify with the substratum like the goldsmith? He is not identified with ornaments. He is only gold. Anybody comes, any ornament he asks, he gives. His calculation is on the gold sold and the cost he got payment, isn't it? Therefore, somebody comes and says, "Ye pigla ke dusra ornament banao," he will not become sentimental. His attention is on the gold. This was that first Tvampad Shodhanatmaka Ditiya mantra, Pratama mantra of the Tritiya Adhyaya. Now the Tritiya mantra talks about Tatpada Shodhanam. And what is said here? Ki everything what we are seeing is nothing but the same Paramatma. Yet identifying with the expressed Paramatma, even if he is expressing as Brahmadeva, is not cause of moksha, therefore cause of bandhana only. If this one thing clicks to us, we are understanding Vedanta. Then that pure, immaculate, Nirguna Nirakara, the nearestly defined as Satchidananda, with that Brahman alone, when we identify as ourselves, that there is complete moksha. Because just now we said, though everything is expression of the Lord, it's conditional expression. That condition is the one which is conditioning our happiness and giving continuous misery. Bondage, the restlessness, the uneasiness, whatever you call them. The asantrupti, asantosha, dukkha, glani, are because of these things that are continuously happening in the world. And they are happening in the conditional Brahman. If there is no unconditional Brahman, Majbur we say we were expected to go through it. But when there is an accessibility to the experience of the unconditional Brahman and then experience the continuous peace and bliss, we should go for it. Understanding this is called understanding Vedanta. Doing this is called doing Vedanta. Reaching to this is called reaching to the acme of the Vedanta. 100 times you have to listen it for registering. 100 times you have to contemplate on it for understanding. Thousands of times you have to go on doing sadhana to establish in sadhana. And the sadhana established takes to the siddhi. पता नहीं कितना टाइम लगेगा. And that siddhi में again we have to get stationed. No. नारायण सह एषः प्रज्ञान रूपः आत्मा ब्रह्म अपरम. Okay. So we are introduced with that Prajnana Rupa Atma. Okay. Prajnanam Brahma is different from the Prajnana Rupa Atma. What is the Prajnana Rupa Atma? It is like the Drashta level. When do you call it as Drashta? When there is a Drushya. Or Sakshi level. When do you call it as a Sakshi? When there is something for him to do the Ikshanam. Sakshat Ikshate iti Sakshi. Now imagine the state when the Drushya is not there for the Drashta. And there is nothing for the Sakshi to become Sakshi of. What is his nature? He is not called as Sakshi or Drashta anymore. He is Prajnana. That is Brahman. That is our goal. Before that stage, even though compared to the totally identified level, it is a healthy stage, but it is not ultimate. Where? Which one? The Sakshi Sthiti and Drashta Sthiti. That Sakshi Drashta is called here as Aparam Brahma, the Prajnana Rupa Atma. Here in Yoga Darshana, what is said, if the vrittis are there, inevitably the Atma Purusha identify with it. Vrittis aropya. Therefore, do the vritti nirodha and get Swarupa Pratishtha. In Yoga Darshana, what is said there, in Vedanta, what is said is, let it be there, but you don't get identified with it. Prajnana Rupa Atma stage is brought here specially, where you are seeing but not identified. Next stage is what? Not seeing, even that also you are with yourself. वृत्तियों को निरोध करो, वहां कह रहे, यहाँ वृत्तियों का साक्षी बनो, बट वही भी नहीं रोकना रुकना. दैट्स नॉट अल्टीमेट. प्रज्ञानम ब्रह्म इज अल्टीमेट. Okay, so before talking to us about the Prajnana Brahma, the final, this Prajnana Rupa Atma, which is Apara Brahma, not Para Brahma, Brahma Apar hai, of that only, please remember, are all the expressions. This is what this Shruti Mata wants to convey to us. Ki Sarva Sharirastha. In the pure Brahman, there are no Shariras and there is nothing that he stays there in them. It's only Apara Brahma who is Sarva Sharirastha, common denominator. He is called as Ishvara Sarvabhutanam Ruddeshe Arjuna Tishtati. Actually, he is the one of whom in this Upanishad Simanam Vidarya Etaya Dwara Prapadyata talked about. In the pure Brahman, there is no Simanam to enter. Please remember the status of the pure Brahman to be Satyam Jnanam Anantam Ekameva Advayam. In him, even his power also is not discussed about. Once his power is discussed about, he is no more the pure Brahman, one step down. And that level of the power only, the whole creation we are talking. Having created, he only consciously entered into every being. All these are concepts for to understand what is the phenomena is happening. This is not the goal. Goal is Prajnanam Brahma. So, Saeva Prajnana Rupa Atma Apara Brahma Sarva Sharirastha Pranaha Prajnatma. He is called as that Hiranyagarbha, which is called Prajnatma, who is there in all. There is someone, the common knower of all, in every one of us. At the pure consciousness thai, like the Rupa Gita, other than that Brahman, there is no other thing for recognizing, for interacting, or for watching, etc. Then you see that he being one pure, but Antakarana Upadeshu Anupravishtaha. Because he is entering into the Upadhi of Antakarana of so many. Example is Jala Bhedagata Surya Pratibimbavat, like the reflection of the sun in different water pots, pots with water or buckets with water. Jala, Jala Bheda, Bheda is there in the Jala. Jala is Antakarana. Jala Bheda Gata, Antakarana Bheda Gata, Surya Pratibimbavat, like the reflected Surya. But Hiranyagarbha Pranaha Prajnatma. This is the second stage. That Hiranyagarbha Prajnatma only is reflecting in every Antakarana Vritti. He himself, when he is reflecting in the Indra Rupi Antakarana, he is called as Esha Indraha. Okay, Gunat. Indra Guna, the powers of ruling, governing, if that are there, then the Hiranyagarbha reflects in that as that. Or in the creation, that expression is there when you talk about the creation. Devaraja Indrova. So therefore, what is Indra? Indra is Antakarana Vritti in which the Hiranyagarbha is reflected. In pure Brahman, neither Indra is there nor Hiranyagarbha is there. This came long back when we studied Mandukya Upanishad, the Vaitatya Prakarana, long back. 3.5 साल 3 साल पहले 2.5 साल this topic was discussed at that time. Then yatho yataha from whom मुखादि निर्भेद द्वारेण अज्ञादयः लोकपालाः जाताः स प्रजापति एषः एव. You know that Brahmanda Purusha from whom the variety of the faculties expressed, from each of the faculty the Adhisthana Devatas expressed, that also the reflection of the Hiranyagarbha in that Upadhi total. Okay. Then ye api ete ajnadaya sarve devaha esha eva. So the total thought is what? Example. Ki jala bhedagata surya pratibimba bhedavat. Eka eva surya is one. The different parts, Baltis are there. Each of them the jala is there. So one place the jala is pure and stable. Another place the jala is pure but not stable. Another place it is stable but not the pure. Other place neither stable nor pure. So sun reflection also is like that in it. It is different in each one of them because of the media. If it understood same way, Brahmadeva, Hiranyagarbhadeva, Virat Purusha, Antaryami, all of them are the Upadhis, like the Jala. In that pure one, Paramatma only reflecting. Our goal is He. Who? Not the reflected here, or the one who is getting to reflect even beyond it. The third stage. So, ye api ete agnyadaya sarve devaha esha eva. Even the Agnyadi devatas, which are mentioned in the first, second chapter, came out of the each of the organs of each of that Brahman, that Virat Purusha, and then entered into the human beings' different parts. All of devatas are antakaranas in which Paramatma reflected. Just like what is a doctor? A antakarana where the medical knowledge is there, in that the Paramatma reflection. Paramatma nahi ho, to he will not be the doctor. So who is expressing doctor is Paramatma only. But conditioned by the Jala, the antakarana. The lawyer, the every professional is the antakarana like the Jala. And in that Jala who is reflecting is Paramatma. In that professional who is reflecting Paramatma. But that Paramatma is not touched by these expressions. कोई याद रखना. छोटू कोई साधु है, कोई क्रिमिनल है, कोई टेररिस्ट है, कोई सेवियर है, all are अंतःकरण वृत्तिस. Okay. Mm. 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 So what is the differentiation here? Bhagavan Adi Shankara is bringing to explain is pure, immaculate, untouched Prajnana Brahma is one. Then he alone at the totality level for expression when he is ready, he alone expressing, not the Parabrahman, the one who is yet to express, alone is expressing in each of the Upadhis. Thus, who is he? He is also Apara Brahma only. Our goal is neither of the outer expressions in the form of the Hiranyagarbha, or all of them, nor the one who is expressing through them. Ours is even someone beyond, in whom these expressions also are not there because there are no antakarana vrittis at that level to express. That's called as pure prajnana sthiti. So prajnana sthiti, samashti sthiti, vyashti sthiti. Our goal is prajnana sthiti, not samashti or not vyashti. Vyashti anyway we see. Each vyashti is nothing but their own antakarana upadhi in which that samashti is reflecting. Paramatma is beyond both vyashti and samashti. That is our goal. That is what is the little difference that is brought here for our clarity, understanding. Then, not only this, Hiranyagarbha is at the total level, his expression, not only the Indra, not only the Prajapati or Virat Purusha, who is the first that morsel of what do you call mud taken out and Amurchata, then from that the limbs have come from the Devatas came. Not only that, even the Devatas also his own expression. Okay. Then he says, Imanicha sarva sharira upadana bhutani pancha prutivyadini mahabhutani. So all these prutivyadi pancha mahabhuta, which are the upadana for all the shariras. Sarva sharira upadana bhutani pancha prutivyadini. Pancha Prithiviyadini. The five Prithvi, Vayu, Akasha, Ityadi, which are the Upadana for all Sharira making, which are called Mahabhutani. Okay. And at what type they are there? Ki Anna Annadatva Lakshanani Etani. Very subtle thought it is, which we studied in the Taittiriya Upanishad. These Upadhi, uh, these Upadana Karana with which these Shariradi are made. They are Anna and Annada. Isn't it? Anna भी है वो एक लेवल पे consumed food. Annada भी है another level. Like outside in the plate there is Anna. My body is there. Food is for the body only. At that level, the food in the plate is the Anna. My Sharira is Annada. But my own Sharira becomes Anna to the parasites that are there. Continually they are eating my body, whether I agree it or not. एंड एट द टाइम ऑफ लिविंग बॉडी तो ये तो अन्नी बन जाता है दूसरे कीड़े मकोड़े को जब जमीन में गाड़ देते तो सो दिस अन्ना अन्नाद लक्षण दैट आल्सो परमात्मा's conditional expression. So what is achieved here is by saying everything is Paramatma, the differences are devalued. And yet this expression level of Paramatma, it is not the goal, therefore detached from its identity. Then the pure Paramatma called as Prajnanam Brahma is an Atman with which we have to identify for the moksha. So the purpose of all these expressions are to get this understanding. So Imanicha Sarva Sharira Upadana Bhutani Pancha Pruthivyadini Mahabhutani Anna Annadatva Lakshanani Etani. All of them also are the conditional expression of him through the upadhis. Upadhis are from the Prakriti. Prakriti is the Shakti of the Maya, or Shakti of Paramatma. Shakti is never away apart, independent from the Shaktiman. This cyclic thing, by contemplating few times, we should be able to grasp it. So, not only the Indriya Adhisthana Devatas, the Virat Purusha, the Indra, the Prajapati, the Hiranyagarbha, and these Panchamahabhutas are the expression of the same one divine. Further it is said, Ki Kimcha Imani cha Kshudra Mishrani. Even these Kshudra mix-ups, what are they? Kshudraihi Alpakaihi Mishrani. Iva Shabda Anartaka. युवा जरूरत नहीं है, क्षुद्र मिश्राणी, अब इस शब्द को मान लो. What are they? The small looking like the living beings. Sarpa adini. Okay, Sarpa adini, bijani, karana, Sarpa adini. All the, so reptile means what? Not only the big python serpent is there is a small इतना भी serpent होता है जो कभी कभी बच्चों के पेट में आते हैं. Even all of them are one Paramatma reflecting in their Antakarana, and that Antakarana requiring to them that Sthula Sharira is there. Therefore, from the difference of Sthula Sharira, come to the difference in the Antakarana Vrittis. From the difference in the Antakarana Vritti, come to the one thing which is expressing through. And from that one thing which is expressing, go to that thing which is not even expressing, which is in its own pristine state of being. अनश्नन्यो अभिचाकशीत. तो इव शब्दानर्थ का सर्पादीनि. देन बीजानि मीन्स कारणानि इतराणि. So many other things which are in the bija rupa. Itarani cha dvairashena nirdishyamanani. The itarani dvirashi means express two times, express at two levels में वो सारे भी उसी परमात्मा के expression है. कानितानि उच्चारणे उच्यन्ते, they are told. First, andajani means pakshyadini. So there are how many things? One is there is a pakshi sharira, second is the pakshi's antakarna vritti, third in that antakarna vritti, this totality is expressing. Fourth is there is something which is inexpressed. Total purna prajnanam brahma. So here what we are told is don't give importance to too much differentiated upadhis. Then those differences corrupt your mind with differentiation, then that leads to wrongdoings and sufferings. Like India. If India has to become one, what is the source with which the India can become one? Can India be one if we talk about it in the form of states, in the form of languages, in the form of castes, in the form of religions, financial positions? ये कुछ भी ले लो, इतनी डाइवर्सिटी है ना, तो यू कैन नेवर यूनाइट. देन व्हाट इज दैट यूनाइट्स ऑल ऑफ अस? ओनली वन थिंग, वी आर बेसिकली इंडियंस, फर्स्ट ऑफ भारतीय. बाकी भी चल रहा है, बट यूनाइट करना है तो फ्रॉम वन नेशन वी आर ऑल, उस दृष्टि से देखना. एक्सटेंड इट द होल वर्ल्ड आल्सो. अगेन वन व्हाट स्टैंड पॉइंट इट विल यू बिकम यूनाइटेड फ्रॉम वन unity only called we are all human beings. समझो, पूरा मनुष्य है, ये भावना आ गया तो ऑल द कंट्री continental differences will become secondary. Then because from the Manushya standpoint we accept all of us are one, all the required bhaichara, prema, helping each other, forgiving each other, which are so necessary for the peace of the world. Nobody is perfect in this world. Everybody is becoming perfect. While becoming so, hundreds of mistakes happen. To every mistake committed by each other, if each other punish each other, nobody remains. It is always in the world bad to forgive, good to appreciate. Bad is there only to forgive. Good is to appreciate. Then only we get united. Like I was feeling yesterday. Forgive the bad that those people have destroyed our temples. No, appreciate the good now that none of them have vehemently objected and created any chaos. That credit we have to give. See, we people have got it legally. We made temple with our fervor and devotion. Great thing we are doing. अच्छी बात है. राम मंदिर की बात मैं कह रहा हूँ. But there is always possibility in them to revolt, to do this and that, because in every religion, different level of people are there. Highly matured will be there, highly raw level also will be there. Who are the very fanatic raw level, anything they can do to disrupt. Then how would have been the situation in last 5-6 days? नहीं हुआ ना, that means what? They are also uh, accepted it. So appreciate that one, isn't it? This appreciation of ours reaches their heart, then they will fully happily agree. When we get back our the Jnanavapi, Lord Shiva temple and Mathura also. And we are not taking anything not others, not ours. See what will happen then? The past people mistakes are rectified. A lesson for not to commit future. You have thousands of things of prayers of your own. Who told not? बढ़िया है कि नहीं? You make your house in your own plot. What objection I will have? जब तुम मेरा encroach करोगे तभी प्रॉब्लम है ना. Are you understanding the example? How? The bad is always to forgive, good is always to learn. Why I am talking this is what? How we come out of problems with intelligence at the individual and collective level. What is common, focus on it. What is differences, leave it to individual. Actually, do you know, religion is not a community. Spirituality, religion is absolutely individualistic. And it is true. Though you and I both are Hindus, but what is the level of understanding of you and me? Level of conviction, level of practice. Can they be same? No. Can two Muslims be same? No. कोई नमाज में आ रहा है, कोई नहीं आ रहा है, कोई पढ़ रहा है, कोई नहीं पढ़ रहा है, कोई whatever directions given they are practicing or not practicing. That day I was thinking it. If somebody writes there that anybody doesn't believe that faith, they have to be killed. My question is, what do you mean by believing it? Is it only belief or practice? Isn't it? If it is practice, then first you kill yourself because you are not practicing. What is said? 100%. Actually, what was said by that man is within their own religion, who doesn't practice it, they should be finished, not the other fellows. But they don't understand that way. And by doing killing of others, they are not practicing only, you know what they have to do. That is why this religion, etc., cannot be even two persons. One, it's me, my spirituality, my growth. How, what relation it has with yours? Can't be. I am of different age, different texture of mind. Absolute individualist. Communally क्यों होता है वो in a group? To cooperate, to coordinate with each other. That's it. With that, you can't become a fanatic group and trouble others. Whereas the outer life cannot be individualistic. It is to be collective. Isn't it like a river? River cannot be individualistic. That I spoil the river as per my choice. No, it is for others also. Isn't it? I spoil the prakriti. नहीं चलेगा वो सबके लिए है. It is उल्टा हो गया अभी. The prakriti we are selfishly using and the religion we are making public. It is other way around. The spirituality is absolutely self-individual. The other things are public. So before you do anything, you give others chance. That is the world. जैसे घर में मैं जैसे चाहे तो वहां चल सकता हूँ, बट रोड पे दूसरे गाड़ियों को जगह देनी. इवन द घर में द दादा दादी नाना नानी है, उनको इम्पोर्टेंस देकर ही मुझे चलना पड़ता है. एनीवे, why we are discussing all of that is focusing attention on the upadhi is the cause of the differentiations and struggles. In that also, every upadhi has its own limitations, uniquenesses. Therefore, no one is greater or no one is less great. Third point, every individual goes through every upadhi in one life or the other. Like I look down upon an elephant, I might be an elephant in 10 lives back or after 20 lives. And I just look down upon any chipkali or anything. क्या पता, हम भी एक समय होते हैं, है ना. एक दिन ऐसा आएगा, मैं रोंदू तू रोई, द माटी कहे कुमार से वाला एग्जाम्पल. See, these wisdoms, when they come, then we understand that each upadhi is adding to the beauty of totality in its own way. Like in a flower, The pollens have their own beauty and contribution. The petals have their own beauty and contribution. The डंडा जो पीछे होता है वो अपना ब्यूटी कंट्रीब्यूशन अपना रखता है वो. Each is unique and special and equally supporting the totality in their own capacity. If this wisdom dawns in us, then we stop giving importance to the differences. We start loving the differences. Then we start giving importance to that one common denominator. This is called spirituality. Enjoying the differences and valuing the oneness, this is spiritual vision. That is how it is. That's what the Lord does. He enjoys his own oneness and he enjoys the beauty of differences, which are his own expression. उसमें कोई बड़ा नहीं कोई छोटा नहीं, जो जैसा है वैसा है बस. कोई लड़े नहीं. Is the flower greater or fruit greater or the bud greater or the leaf greater? Wrong question. You can't compare them. Each is great in its own place. All of them put together make the beautiful world. In my body, which part is better? Question is wrong. Everyone is good, unique in its own place, sacred in its way. Put together is a Sharira. In the same way, here, one Paramatma, not the absolute Prajnanam Brahma, but the Aparam Brahma alone is reflecting in every of the Upadhis. Even Kshudra Mishrani, Sarpadini. Then next one, Itaranicha Dvairashyena Nirdishyamanani. The Dvairashyena matlab, those which are explained as mm, 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 which are as if taken second time birth or variety way expressed. Examples. Kanitani uchante andajani. So what are the andajani? Pakshyadi. So we have to see the Pakshi Sharira, the Pakshi Antakarana, and the reflection of one common substratum in that Pakshi Antakarana, and that which is even beyond that reflecting thing, the Prajnanam Brahma. So Prajnana Brahma Sthai is our goal. Prajnana Rupa Atma is second level. That is what is choosing to express through every Antakarana contained in every of the Sharira. Required for that particular individual in resonance with, in chorus with, in orchestration with the total. Very subtle thought it is. That's why in this world, anybody is born, it is adding beauty to the world. And anybody is dying, it is adding beauty to the world because then only that will happen. That is why only that happens. In this world, if you look at, there's only gain, gain, gain. There's no loss. If we can develop that vision, there will be no misery in this world. Misery is only misunderstanding. Panditaha narashochanti. Next one he says Andajani means Pakshyadini. Jarujani means Jarayujani Manushyadini. So the Andaja means born from the Anda, the eggs, the Pakshis. Jarujani, Jarayujani, Jara se Utpanna, Manushya, Pashu ityadi. Then comes Svedajadini, Yukadini. Yuka, Damsha, Mashaka, all of them are born from the Sveda, the sweat, the moisture. See, that sweat word is so close to Sveda. Sveda and sweat are same. Then comes Udbijanicha, means Udbhedan they do of the earth and come Vrukshadini. Ashwaha, see the next category, horses. Gavaha, cows. Purushaha, the human beings. Hastinaha, elephants. Anyascha, yatkincha idam pranijatam. All whatever the pranijata, some examples are given here. Kim tatu, what all of them? What do you mean by pranijatam? Jangamam means yat chalati, means padbhyam gachati. Jangam means which moves with the feet. Yacha patatri. Patatri means akashena patanashilam, that which flies in the sky, called as all birds. Then yacha stavaram. What do you mean of stavaram? Achalam. That is unmoving. In that, the living things are trees, the non-living are the mountains, etc. All of them. What is all of them? Sarvam tat eshaha eva. Sarvam tat esha eva. All of that is this alone. Then, who is that eshaha you are saying here? Sarvam tat asheshataha prajnanetram. Without revealing anything, all of that is nothing but the prajnanetram. मतलब प्रज्ञा ही जिनका एकमात्र नेत्र है, प्रज्ञा नेत्रम. देन प्रज्ञप्ति प्रज्ञातच्च ब्रह्म एव नियते अनेन इति नेत्रम प्रज्ञा नेत्रम यस्य तदिदं प्रज्ञा नेत्रम प्रज्ञाने ब्रह्मणि उत्पत्ति स्थिति लय कालेषु प्रतिष्ठितं प्रज्ञा आश्रयम् इत्यर्थः. प्रज्ञा नेत्रः लोकः पूर्ववत् प्रज्ञा चक्षुर्वा सर्वः इव लोकः प्रज्ञा प्रतिष्ठा सर्वस्य जगतः तस्मात् तत् प्रज्ञानं ब्रह्म. So these things are little sublime, subtler. So tomorrow, in full detail and exhaustiveness, we will touch upon what is said so far, and then what's the difference between Prajnanam Brahma, Prajnana Rupa Atma, and that alone is reflecting in different upadhis. In those upadhi, which something we call as Sameshti, Hiranyagarbha Ishvara, something we call as Vyashti, these are all these things. बट उसमें सब में एक ही व्यक्त हो रहा है, और जो व्यक्त हो रहा है उनके पीछे भी एक है जो हमारा लक्ष्य है. प्रज्ञानम ब्रह्म इट इज. Now, how subtle our intellects have to be to listen to this, grasp this, and how deep and long time should be our meditation to reach to that level in ourselves. No, ऐसा महान लक्ष्य सामने रखकर we have to try only for this, should not worry about anything around. Anything comes in our life, Lord wants it to be with us. Let it come. See how it is used for sadhana. Anything doesn't come in our life, Lord doesn't want it to come into us. Therefore, it does not come. Don't worry about it. Do the Lord's work at that time. With this clarity, when we listen, live life, no, we will not be entangled by our own minds, vagaries of all these raga, dvesha, kama, krodha. All these are unwanted things. They have no meaning, no purpose, but they are the ones which are harbored by us at our lower level of life ignorance. Like, you see that slum level and all lower level. For छोटे चीजें, people make an issue and fight. Small thing they fight. Those are matured, they know there's nothing to be fought about. Compromise करते जाओ, आगे बढ़ते जाओ. No, see that in Bihar. छोटा problem. That fellow said something. इनको ego hurt हो गया. Suddenly he's leaving everything and joining other party. Other fellows are very matured. They know कि आएगा तो आएगा, रहेगा तो रहेगा, टिकट जाएगा जाएगा. हमको भी फायदा इसको वादा है. दरवाजे हमेशा खुला है. If they make issue, no, at the time वक्त में you left us and gone there and we suffered and all, work will not happen. 5 years back, or not 5, 10, 15 years back, when Vajpayee government fall down, the reason is somebody from the Andhra Pradesh, you know it. But the other fellow, when this fellow went there to Ayodhya temple the other day, the PM wished him. You can't carry the load of past mistakes of anyone, and on the basis of that, can't build a future. Mm. Life is always to look ahead only, nothing to worry about. पास से कुछ सीखना है तो सीखो. Every individual is evolving, every individual is contributing only to the total. मैं तो इस बात पे आ गया भाई, सब इवॉल्व कर रहे हैं, सब समष्टि को सहाय कर रहे हैं, बस उस दृष्टि से देखो ना, व्यक्ति दृष्टि से उनको ना देखो ना हमको देखो. Then the all differences exist but don't create problem. So these beautiful things we'll come tomorrow to enjoy. Don't miss class. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Paramanashubhyo Parabrahmane Suti Matre Nama Tatsat Brahmarmanavastu. Om Om